Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another session of Speak Your Mind, the only show that gets into your living room, your bedroom, your porch, wherever you watch the TV. Some of you go to your neighbor's house to watch because you don't have cable TV. But we understand. We understand the frustration, but at least you're watching. So I'm grateful. I'm glad to be back tonight. I was off last week. For all of you who keep asking, last week I decided to take my wife out for a fancy dinner. My wife and my son, by the way. We went to Brandywine Bay to enjoy a nice night out, just kind of chilling and enjoying some fancy food. And I tell you, I'm glad I did it because my son said to me, you know, at first he didn't like it. He said, oh, this is boring. The menu is boring. And then after the lady came to the table, he ordered what he wanted, even though it wasn't on the menu, and she got it for him. And when he done, he said, Daddy, this is good. I like that place. I like fancy places. So once in a while, you got to treat yourself, right? So that's what I did last week. But I did miss you guys. I missed the show. And I'm back tonight. So hopefully, you know, you can show some love. Let me know that you know that I'm here and that you're there and that you're taking part in this show, because, again, this show belongs to you guys. It belongs to the concern. It belongs to those who have something positive to contribute. It belongs to everybody throughout the territory and everybody who can watch us worldwide. Of course, you know we're on the internet, so you can always view us. So call your friends, your neighbors, and let them know that we're on. We're on right now. It's a live show tonight, Saturday. Tonight is the 18th. The 18th of, what are we in, March? 18th of March. Oh, I'm sorry, 28th of March. The 28th of March, we're on live tonight. So you know what to do. Call your friends, your neighbors, let them know. Yell across the way if you need to and let them know that the Speak Your Mind show is on, that Henry's on tonight. Hopefully Courtney will join me in a little bit. If not, you know how we do it. We'll keep rocking the boat. We're not going to be too tight on anything tonight. We're still going to open it up early. Hope to hear from you guys. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's bothering you, what we can still try to correct and fix. Now is the right time, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not. Look at all the people who used to be making noise about roads not getting any work, or, you know, not getting any support for this or support for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time. I'm telling you, now is the time. If you want to make it happen, now is the time. Be smart, be reasonable. Try to get things that we can accomplish, or you can, you know, the politician don't have a problem getting done right away. Put it out there. But at the same time, don't just be about yourself. Be about the territory, be about your neighbor, be about everyone else. So if you're asking for a road to be paved, not just your road, but the road that leads to somebody else's house and other people's homes, so everybody else can be served at the same time, all right? So let's ask for the things that make sense, that are reasonable, and we know we can achieve them, right? Let's do that together. So tonight, I'm going to put 3 of my talking points out there. But if you guys want to elaborate on anything else, feel free. I want to say roll call to all those in Virgin Gorda, in Anegada, Jost Van Dyke. I know I got some people over in Jost Van Dyke watching. Hope you guys had a good day today. I thought I saw a nice little small cruise ship over there today, if I saw it right. I know you guys were busy today. Virgin Gorda, I know you were busy. Carnival Cruise Line came in. We're going to talk about that later. And dropped a ton load of people. Of course, most of the ships that come in drop ton load of people that go to Virgin Gorda, especially the Italian ship. But we know for a fact Carnival probably, you know, ripped up the place today. And we're grateful to have them in shore today. So big up to yourself. Call me, let me know that you're there. You guys are on the verge of getting a brand new $5.9 million hospital. I think he just broke ground. So you guys can't complain anymore. It's going to be looking good over there in Virgin Gorda. But if you have any concerns, again, in relation to that, or anything that you think the system should know about before they move forward, call this show and let them know, because they are listening, ladies and gentlemen. The people who work for them listen to this show. They tape this show. I got people calling me up and saying, well, you said so-and-so on the show. And I said, really, did I? And then they'll play me the little recording. So don't worry. Call, represent your point of view, your interest, and let them know. So tonight on my radar, of course, the Virgin Gorda Hospital. I want to hear from you guys on that up there in Virgin Gorda, and even throughout the territory. I know we need, you know, some assistance over in Anegada. We probably need something over in Josephine Dyke. But we're on the verge of getting something, I think, spectacular in Virgin Gorda. It looks good. It looks really good. And if and they have the right, we have the right person on the job, Mr. Todman. James Todman, I believe, is the new contractor for that project. That's the man for the job. That man is brilliant. And if anybody could get it done right the first time, it's James E. So James E, big up yourself. So Virgin Gorda residents, citizens, people living over there, tourists, rest assured, something big is happening. Let's see, once the ground is broken and we can get the equipment and everything start moving, it's going to be nice, hopefully in another year, to see something really nice over there. And at the end of the day, we can have it staffed with professional, you know, hopefully some BVI landers, residents who call the BVI home, belongers who love the BVI and really want to belong. And so hopefully we can really get that going. So, you know, kudos to those who are pushing it. It's a promise, and hopefully it's a promise delivered. So let's get it going. So call me, Virgin Guardians. Let me know what's on your radar. Talk to me about anything that's over there. I know we spoke about the garbage the last time, and I know some of you probably still want to touch that, because, I mean, if it's an ongoing issue, we got to tackle them. The next thing, there was another big story this week about the power. BVI Electricity is upgrading. I got the booklet right here. They're upgrading. They said to include, let me see. They include extension to the Packwood Pond Power Station, 2 new 8 MW, I guess that's megawatt generators, and a new central control room between Packwood Pond. They're going to also have some new transmission cables. So this, according to sources, could be really big for the BVI when it comes to power supply. I saw a headline from the chairman of the board who said something like, you know, it's necessary because when you have the cruise line, the cruise pair coming on stream, you got the hospital coming on stream, and of course don't forget Bywater coming on stream fully. The power cable, the power station needs to supply power to all of these, you know, entities. What I'm hoping though, is that when all this improvement comes online, we can see some form of reduction in our power bill. We can actually, you know, rely on a reduced cost and a more controlled cost. We don't want to see, you know, the government going to spend a whole bunch of money again, $30-something million according to the minister, and we still can't get any relief. Of course, I think I did hear also that some legislation will pass. So some of you can correct me on this if I'm a little bit off. Some legislation will pass to allow certain entities and businesses to maybe go into a different source of energy, and that would help. That would help a lot of businesses. So again, these were all promises. Let's see something being delivered. We're hoping that come on stream. So hopefully we can lament on that. If you guys want to touch on that, feel free to call me up. Again, we're gonna open up the lines early tonight, so you guys can hit me up on all of these things. Minimum wage. The minimum wage. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a conversation about the minimum wage. There's been a series now of public consultation. They're asking you guys and myself to come out to these meetings, to weigh in on the conversation, to pretty much put your voice out there. Well, I think I saw one of the folks involved with that said, it's really you. You gotta be loud and be clear. You gotta ask for what you want. And ladies and gentlemen, in addition to asking for what you need and want on this show, we need you to come out. You should go out. A lot of you who are working in some of these establishments where the employers are refusing to give you a real raise. To me, they don't really need to wait on government. They don't need for laws to come into place. It's probably the right thing to do Some of these businesses are making good money. They're making more than enough. So, you know, you guys got to come out to represent. Start tonight. Start tonight on this show if you need to. Speak out about, you know, what you feel is an injustice. I mean, I think we live in a country that can afford to pay people a little bit better. I really believe that, no matter what. And if you're not going to pay people, you know, a better wage, especially some of the restaurants, them stop taking people's gratuity away. Let them stay with their tips, because that helps. That helps when they're not getting the right money to work. I mean, we got people working in establishment for 15, 20 years still making $4 an hour. That's slave labor. That is ridiculous. And really and truly, I think the government needs to just do what they got to do. It could be increased somewhat now while we're going through this phase of consultation. It can be increased. It was done. It was done. I think the minimum wage was, what, $3 and change a few years ago. And I think, now don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, correct me, no problem. I can stand to be corrected. I think the last minister for communication or work, I think, who was responsible for labor, I think, is the one who probably find a way to increase it. So if you have the timeline, share the timeline, because I know it used to be like $3 or something like that. Then it went up to $4. But and it didn't take a whole lot of, you know, time spent out there trying to, you know, talk to the same employers who are saying, no, I'm not going to raise minimum wage when they can. We already know what needs to be done. And I think sometimes in this case, this is one of the reasons, this is one of the times I support. We hired you. We put you in office to represent the interests of people. Just go ahead and do it. This is one of those times where I'm pretty sure the masses is going to support you. And I'm talking to the system. And I'm talking to those of you who work for the system and on behalf of the system. So let's talk about it. My colleague Courtney last week, I support exactly what he said. Minimum wage should be tied to inflation. It should be tied to the cost of living. I mean, we have an increased cost of living in this country every year. Almost every month you see something going up, and there's no protection. There's no consumer protection in place. There's nothing to really stop price gouging. Nothing. No kind of legislation. So I think one of the first steps is we have to have things like that in place, and then we need to just go ahead and increase our minimum wage so people can make a decent living. So you guys can touch base on that if you want. Last but not least, on my my little teasers, of course, you know, I'm jumping for joy. You're going to see a series of clips coming up in a few minutes about the cruise fair. You know, today we had a really nice visit from Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Liberty, I believe it was, came in today, and she dropped a ton load of people. You can see there on screen. And you might see, look closely, you might see me in probably in this clip where I was out there dispatching. And I wasn't out there dispatching just today. I do it almost, you know, every day. I like to assist, especially, you know, moving people around, getting them from place to place, from point to point, so they can, you know, contribute to the overall development of the territory. And that's what we want. We want when these people come to that they are more informed. And a lot of you out there who are indirectly benefiting from an expanded cruise tourism industry, I want to tell you guys again and again that we need to really embrace the change and find ways where we can stimulate the interest of the people coming to our shores. Bottom line, if we don't interest them, if we don't stimulate their thoughts, if we don't create avenues for them to go outside of the norm, it's not going to be good for none of us. So we got to do what we got to do. You know what I mean? So let's do it together. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. You know, it was a whole lot of back and forth, debacle, argument. Carnival, you know, had made some statements and saying, you know, hey, if it's going to be, you know, bad to my business model, I'm not going to come. And I know over the past year or so, we've had a number of government, from the ministry down, to the director of port, to the chairman, who've been having a series of meetings with not just Carnival, but probably with Royal Caribbean and some of the other guys, the main players in the game, to entice them and encourage them to come back. But of course, the real test will be after April 29th to see how this marriage works out. And of course, me personally, I want to see Carnival. I want to see Royal Caribbean. I want to see NCL. I want to see Disney. I want to see all the different cruise lines who are willing to come to the territory, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, not just taxis, and people need to get this out of their head, the economy of the British Virgin Islands benefits. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, phone line's going to be open, text line's going to be open. You know, feel free to hit me up on any of the topics or anything that you believe is important that you want to get out there. Feel free to hit me up on those. So we'll take a quick break and we're going to be right back. All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back again. Phone line's going to be up in a minute. Text number going to be up in a minute. Feel free to hit me up on anything. I put out 3 really good teasers for you guys to stimulate your mind, your thought process. Whatever it is, hit me up. Let me know how you feel. Of course, as we said earlier, the government is now embarking on phase 5 of the upgrade to the power station. And it says here that the phase 5 includes an extension of the Packwood Pond power station, 2 new 8 megawatts generators, and a new central control room between Packwood Pond and Longbush. In addition, they'll also be putting new transmission cables between Packwood Pond and Longbush. According to sources down at BVI Electricity, that this will help. This will help from a lot of what they've been doing. They won't have to be doing that anymore, cutting some areas off to cool some generators down, to service them. We'll have a continuous flow of power. But of course, I just had a text. One of the texts said, what about the cost? And that's my question in the beginning. What about the cost? And I'm hoping that with this new expansion, with this new development, we can see a reduction in the cost. It'll be better for all of us. So let's see. And of course, again, there's been legislation that's been out there now. I think they just dropped some new legislation allowing certain businesses and different entities now to go and expand into renewable source energy sources, you know, solar panel and things like that. So, you know, this could be good. This could be good. Let's look at all of this together and see how it could benefit all of us. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, between you and I know what our concerns are. What am I going to end up paying? You know, when I go pay this bill, is it going to be sky high? Am I going to see the reduction? And I must say, BVI Electricity, I have seen a reduction in my bill. I don't know what the reason is, but I've seen that reduction. So thanks so far. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Hi, good evening. Yeah, talk to me. Hey, John, what's going on, man?
Everything blessed, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's tune in.
Okay. Well, tonight we're talking a little bit about the power situation. You know, the government are just going to improve on that. We're talking about minimum wage, and we also talking about the new cruise pay. You saw the big ship at the dock today?
No, I didn't look at the dock.
You didn't look at the dock? You weren't in town today?
I was in the valley.
Oh, you were in the valley?
I couldn't see.
Okay. Which valley? The one on Tortola or the one in Virgin Gorda?
The one in Tortola.
Okay. You on the other side of town?
And you know, I just started to sit the night and like, I ain't nobody talking about my department yet, so I don't
Which one? Which one is that? Public Work or Solid Waste?
Hello, you can't set me up, I tell you. It's John Doe. Don't just set me up, you heard?
Okay. John Doe, which...
You know how good my head you, you heard?
Okay, my brother. that's a loyal caller. Thanks for the call. Yeah, again, the whole new power upgrade. We're looking at costs. Hopefully that can help with the costs. All the different measures. There's the renewable energy source coming in. People should be able to now put in solar panels and all these different ideas that are out there to help businesses grow. One of the biggest problems in helping businesses to grow is the cost of electricity. Outside of labor costs is electricity. Some of these businesses are paying $10,000, $15,000 a month. I mean, you're barely making it. So we hope that with this new improved technology, this new engine, these two new generators coming in, it will make a world of difference. Minimum wage, again, if you want to touch on that, ladies and gentlemen, feel free. A lot of people are voicing their concern. I've had several conversations now with about 3 or 4 people on the committee to review the minimum wage thing. And I think most of them are feeling the same as most of you out there. They believe something needs to be done. And something should be done. And I think right now there could be an interim measure that could be taken by government. Yes, we want to study it carefully. We want to go through the process. But we've been going through the process now for years. People are suffering. They need a better pay. They're paying tons of money for rent. We're paying tons of money for goods and services in the supermarket. People should be making a decent wage. And one of the things that I think I have a problem with, and a number of complaints that I get from a lot of people, is that a lot of these businesses that are service-oriented businesses, a lot of people work in these places, and at the end of the day, they lose their tip. Or the tip is being used in some cases, as part of their pay. That's wrong. That is wrong. If you're taking somebody's tip and including it as part of their pay, it's wrong. Those things shouldn't happen. So the Labor Department, government of the Virgin Islands, need to put, a sort of a oversight committee or a group of people who are really monitoring and going out and doing mystery shopping and looking at some of these businesses, because, it's like slave labor, man. And the people can't complain, because if you complain, you lose your job. You're in a job for 10, 15 years. You don't take all the abuse you can take. You don't complain enough. You can't get no resolution from anybody, despite all the promises we get from the system and from everybody who wants to get into office. And then when they get in, it's like we have to study. We have to look at this. We have to look at that. Well, we've been looking at it now for too long, and something needs to be done. So I think, looking at the minimum wage, it needs to be increased. And Courtney said something last week, and I support what he said. It needs to be tied to inflation. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, right.
Yes, talk to me.
Yes, Sam. We need phase 5.
Yes.
Because to pay for those generators for by water, and to pay for the diesel for by water, and we just had 3 more engine and bush that we have to pay for and pay for diesel. We need phase 5 quickly.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about phase 5. How does it work? What is it really going to do?
We need engines in the taco pan.
Okay, new engines.
We need them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it will cost us a lot of money paying for these 6 engines we have rent.
Yeah.
We just need phase 5 quickly.
Yeah, got you.
Okay, good night.
Got you. All right, thanks for the call. All right, well, I know Leroy and Brother Potter and all the guys who are on the board, they are pushing that. Let's get it going. And you know what? I support any type of improvement, advancement, because when you get people over in Josephine Dyke who are complaining, power going off, they're running a business, it's a hotel or a restaurant, and power goes off in the middle of a transaction. That's unacceptable at this time. We really got to do better. We could do better. So if this is the answer, let's get it going. So Mr. Minister, you got my support on this one. I ain't going against this one. Let's get it going. No, it belongs to us. And like you said, Mr. Minister, the BVI electricity has done well. It has paid its bills. You know, it doesn't owe anybody like that. It's a very responsible entity. And I tell you, one of the things I think that really helps them is the fact that when you're late on your bill, they cut you off. Guess what you have to do? You got to go in and pay. So they have one of the best methods in collecting the money. Cut you off. Nobody wants to live in the dark unless you absolutely don't have any other option. But nobody wants to live in the dark. So however you can find the money, you find it, you go in, you pay your bill, you're back on. Lights again. We could complain all we want about how much power goes off, but at the end of the day, as long as it doesn't go off because we owe the money, we're happy when it comes back on. So let's get it going. Phase 5. Let me hit you up on some of the texts I got real quick. Big up to Carnival. That was one of the texts I got earlier. Big up to Carnival. Somebody's bigging up to Carnival. I guess we're coming in. I think the system is the bigger man. Carnival is a big man. If we could see them, we could see more of them come into this territory. It helps everybody. With this new power grid coming on stream, Mr. Potter said, the cruise ship gonna need it. The cruise pair gonna need it. So let's get it going. But big up to Carnival. Carnival Cruise Line came in today, ladies and gentlemen. For some of you who are not aware of what's happening, you know, we had a whole probably a year of Carnival missing in the mix of our cruise tourism product. And the dock is not fully open yet. We got one side of the dock done, and the government hopefully by next month, the 28th or 29th of April, will be sort of a soft launching and opening of the cruise pier facility, at least from the pier side, not necessarily the land side, but from the pier side, we should see at least one of the berthing or two of the berthing agreement partners coming to dock, coming in. We no longer have to wait on tenders, and we can see two big boys sitting at that dock with people coming off happy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. Boys and girls, men and women, I feel good. I feel good about this development, especially from the perspective that we have one of the best opportunities. We have one of the best cruise deals, I think, bar none, of any other Caribbean island. Considering the fact that we were able, government was able to secure whatever loan they needed to secure to get this project done, to get it going. It belongs to us now. I feel good saying that now. I didn't feel good saying that a few years ago when people were saying, it can't go nowhere. Nonsense. When it belongs to somebody else, it don't have to go nowhere, but it could be shut down. It could cause some problem that you can't have that you won't have control of. We have control. The BVI port has control, and that's the control that you were supposed to have in the first place. So it's great. Who wants to come now could come. There's some measure of control in the berthing agreement that gives the government the right to sell those empty spaces to whoever. That's control. That means there's a future in it for not just the two partners who sign with government, but there's a future in it for others who want to just drop in, who want to put us on their long-term itinerary. That's great, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we have to do. One of the last frontier, I believe, we had, one of the last opportunities we had. We don't own any hotels, really. There's a few hotels owned by a few locals, but not on the scale of international recognition. You know what I'm saying? You hear people talk about Rosewood and Little Dix Bay and Byers Creek and Bitter End and Nika Island. Those places are known worldwide. We don't own none of those. So we don't have a whole lot of say-so in anything that relates to them. We may not own the airport. Another thing, we may not own the airport at the end of the day. So therefore, the only little bit of benefit we might get out of that might be a few little jobs, a few little business opportunity. But the real money maker, whoever finish it, if government doesn't do it themselves, which they probably can't, whoever does it is the real one, the real McCoy. That's the one who's going to make the money. We don't own much outside of these major investment. The cruise pair was the last major investment, in my judgment, in my view, that allows as many of us to go set up little business ideas and pitch. That's what it's about. Entrepreneurs doing things. So I'm happy. I am happy, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't minding no noise from nobody else. Nobody can tell me how to think about this. I had an opportunity now to be a part of something 15, 20, 30, 40 years. However many years the Lord blessed me to live, I got an opportunity now. And that's what we needed. So, big up. If you got any comments on that, if you saw it at the dock today, ladies and gentlemen, it looked good. Engineer, see if you can show that picture again of that big boy at the dock, all new dock. And they were one of the first ones to say, hey, I want to try this dock. Look at that. That's a live picture today. It was taken today, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the big boys them. And we might see one even a little bit bigger than that sitting at the dock one day. That's a big milestone right there. You know? So again, big up to the government. Big up to the minister for pushing that. That's a big man government thing there. I for that. It belongs to us. So I'm very happy now. Oh, look the big dogs them there. You know, that's great. And that's what we wanted to see. That's what was needed. We needed to control this thing. We have a partnership. Partnership means, you know, some balance in the agreement. And I think we got the best deal. Ladies and gentlemen, I go to St. Martin. I've been to St. Kitts, St. Thomas, Barbados. You look at all of these cruise pair around the Caribbean. And up to today, I had people telling me in my vehicle how it's sort of depressing sometimes when you go on these cruises. You know, the information that they bombard you with is controlled only by the cruise liners. You know, sometimes they have a hard time finding independent operators or something sort of a free, you know, type of tourism product. And that's one of the things we could be proud of here, is that anybody could walk off our dock. They don't have to take my taxi. They can walk downtown and catch somebody else. They feel free to do that. They don't have to worry about high crime. So please, let's keep that down, because that's one of the biggest factors in why so many of these destinations allow cruise liners to build these type of villages where people don't go outside of those villages. But we don't have to worry about that. At the end of the day, I know it's going to be a bit challenging still for people downtown, but still, we're going to find 20-30% of the people that are coming off. They're going to come off and they're going to boycott what's there, and they're going to want to do something different. They're going to want to go to Virgin Gorda. They're going to want to go up to Scrub Island. They're going to have to take taxis. They're going to want to jump on a boat to go to Just Van Dyke. That's what I love about this whole setup. At the end of the day, we could benefit, and we will benefit, and we should benefit. That's what I'm talking about. So I said big up to that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hit you up on another text. The text said cruise pair looks good. Oh yeah, we just talked about that. I agree with you 200%. Power bill is still high. Yeah, well, it is high compared to some other areas, looking at your usage and so forth. And I think there's something that we could probably do to help ourselves. You know, there was some new initiatives going around the territory a couple of years ago, a year or two ago, changing out some of your light bulbs, looking at the type of light bulbs you're using, how much energy they're burning up. Maybe looking at other type of budgeting yourself. Maybe turning off some of those lights when you're not using them, unplugging some of those. It's said that even if you're not using your phone, let's say you have a phone charger plugging in one room and another one plugging in another room, even if you're not charging, the phone is not plugged into that charger, it's still running. It's using energy. Unplug all of those things and see if it makes a difference. You know what I mean? Check it out, because I tell you what, I'm going to wait. I am going to wait until, this whole thing settles, when we get this upgrade. And then whoever's in power, I'm going to beat them up to make sure that, my power bill goes down. And you and I should do the same. That let's give this a chance. Let's see what's going to happen. At the end of the day, we do need the increased capacity, because, again, we have a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems with power outage. We got a lot of people they're shedding areas and turning some off and running some here. Hopefully we can done with all of that. And like the last caller said, we need it. We need it. So let's push for it. Next text here: we need better roads over. No, let's say we need better oversight on power. Okay, that's coming. I believe that's coming. We need better oversight. I guess we got to also look at the fuel surcharge. Why are we paying such a ridiculous fuel surcharge on a power system? When you pay your bill, sometimes the surcharge bill is almost just as much as the power bill itself. So why are we paying so much? But I think, in addition though to the new engine, I think the power company should probably start looking at themselves, looking at alternative energy sources to maybe reduce the dependency on the fossil fuel and the gasoline and the diesel. Maybe that might help. You pay less. I remember, looking at how much government pays, the gas companies. I remember when it was like 40-something million. I think the last bill was like 60-something million, and I said, wow, what's the next one going to be like? And what's so funny, what's so strange, it should go down. The cost of petrol coming up should go down as long as the crude oil prices stay the same or continue to drop. The cost of the system should go down. So let's keep a close eye on that. Because if it doesn't go down, something wrong. And even looking at the pumps seem to just stop falling. Everybody else has fallen. I mean, the U.S. now is down, averaging 190, 180, and we're still averaging three and change. So let's see what happens. Good doctors needed in Virgin Gorda after hospital. I agree. We do need some good doctors. And I'm hoping that, like how we're pushing a lot of our young people now into law in other areas, I am hoping that after all the conversation about People's Hospital not being staffed with, enough locals, I'm hoping that there's some kind of nursing program or programs that's put in place for anybody to have an interest that can start now. Start now so you can move to that next phase once the whole thing is done, because we you got to be grateful to the people who take up the job. You got to be grateful to the people who leave their home to come here and help take care of us. I am grateful. But at the same time, where does that leave us long term? Where are we at long term if we don't continue to push our own and get people in there? So we're talking about people who might have an interest, not people who don't have interest. If you don't have interest, you can't get anything done. But for those who have interest, we should probably try to get some things in place to help them get to that level. So at the end of the day, brand new hospital in Virgin Gorda, brand new hospital in Tortola, and then you can have local staff, to deal and manage it. And so let's see what we can do there. Next text, Roads need fixing in Sophie Bay. Sophie Bay is terrible. That hill in Sophie Bay, I agree. The roads really need fixing there, ladies and gentlemen. Because I tell you what, I don't know how many of you, you know, sometimes just hate going up and down that hill. It's crazy, man. You know, you're coming down from east, you get to the bottom. I wish the government could just strip the whole thing. You know, block traffic off, send everybody through the hill, you know, take 2 days and just strip the whole thing properly. And then pave it properly. So, Mr. Minister, please, somebody sent a text, they said the road needs fixing in Sophie Bay. They're doing a good job, the guy's doing a good job lining out the road, you know, up over Cane Bay, going towards Windy Hill, you know, going towards, Shannon and so forth. That's good. We're on the right track. But Sophie Bay is one of those areas. So, Jeffrey, I know you got some people watching. Let's see what we could do, man. This is part of that, hopefully part of that $16 million loan scheme. This is one of those critical areas. The road itself is a hazard to trucks going up there with cargo on the back. Your vehicle vibrates so much it could shake stuff off. I've seen it happen. Vehicles turning over. Whenever it gets wet, you got to swing out to avoid the corner because it's so steep. So let's see what we could do. Shut down the road, shut down the whole thing 2 days. You know, strip that thing properly and pave it properly so the road could be even and smooth. We don't want no more patching on that road. We don't want no more, you know, patching in the little holes and stuff because that's causing the problem. No more patch. Big man government. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get right into this thing again. Again, if you want to call, you know, hit me up. When we come back, the phone numbers will be up again. The text number will be up. Just feel free to hit me up, all right? So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. So we got about a half an hour left. So if you want to get in on this conversation, feel free to hit me up at any time. I just want to mention, because someone sent me a text, remind me to, thanks the people for coming out to the By BVI show. We want to talk a little bit about that as well. I think that was a huge success, ladies and gentlemen. I was listening to it and I had an opportunity to go in and check it out. And I'll tell you what, BVI Islanders, especially young BVI Islanders or belongers or citizens, residents, whoever you are doing big things in the BVI. They're opening up a whole nother world of opportunity for themselves and for the territory. So I think it's a good idea that if you wanted to find out more about the different businesses that were there, I'm sure the Chamber have a list. You could probably go on the Chamber's website, BVICCHA, and check out the different businesses that are on their website. Support all of the businesses that are on there. If you don't see the one you're looking for, call them up, give them a ring, tell them, you know, you saw a business at the By BVI trade show and you wanted to get some more information. But big up to the people who put that on. I think Troy Christopher is one of those people who are spearheading that. Troy, you did a marvelous job. You got a lot of energy, brother, and we need more of that. We need more trade shows that can promote and highlight young entrepreneurs, businesses in the BVI, so we can really help one another. I think it's important. Before we go to the next couple texts, I just want to again go back real briefly, and we have a little short 3 minutes tape of the minister, his speech about the whole cruise pair development, the cruise line carnival again. So I just want to introduce this to you guys and again support the effort of the system, the government, for really pushing this type of development. and I'm going to keep emphasizing that, this type of development where they got that loan, build their dock, control, help their people to advance. There's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some problems, some cause for concerns. But at the same time, it's ours now. So take a quick look at the tip coming in.
This is indeed a big day for cruise tourists in the BVI. Now that we have a facility that can entertain all the larger ships. And so that means that more visitors will come to the country, and we're also preparing the country generally to be able to facilitate the visitors so they'll be able to have the most enjoyable time when they come here, so they keep on returning. One of the big things, of course, is to have the cruise vessels to continue to come for the benefit of all those who work in that area, like the taxi drivers, the cruise operators. But they're also very interested in helping those visitors who come as cruise to also become interested in coming as long-stay visitors to the territory. And that's why we have people like our tourism director here.
Hello, hi.
One of the big things is what they call a cruise conversion policy, where we can encourage those who come as cruise, keep on coming as cruise visitors, but also come and stay for a long time. So, thank you for being here for us to bring those visitors to be here.
Thank you for all of you. Thank you again.
Captain, I'm Mark Van Der Poel, I'm the Minister responsible for ports. We want to say thank you for docking in so well this morning, although we had a little wind.
Yeah, it was a week.
And we're happy to see Carnival Cruise Lines back with us. We are always happy for that. And we look forward to further discussions with your principals to continue to see Carnival come to the Virgin Islands. We hope that your guests have a very enjoyable stay today. And I want to thank you for being so gracious to dock alongside our new facility that is not quite complete. But hopefully in a few weeks' time, it will be completed and you can dock on this side or on the other side. So we look forward to that. Again, thank you very much for visiting our shores and look forward to you coming again. Thank you. We don't want to do it very much because then it slows down the rest of the construction. But there may be times when we may have some accommodation for that. Each time a ship comes like today, the construction it doesn't stop, but we have to shift a bit off the dock and walk in the water for the dredging and not be walking on the dock, as you can see. They are right now this week pouring a lot of concrete on the dock itself. They stopped today, obviously, but they will continue this week. And hopefully in a few weeks' time, most of the work on the dock will be completed. A lot of the time will be spent in the water where they're dredging some of the areas that need to be deepened. And that's the focus. That'll be the focus after a couple of weeks from now.
All right, guys, there you have it. Big things in the work. Big things in the work. So we had a whole entourage of, important government people, essential people, who work in different ministries. I guess the Ministry of Communication, the Premier's office, who were out there today. They went on board. They got a plaque. We welcome the captain and the Carnival Cruise Line back. So and also on deck, online. I think if you look real good in some of that clip, you might see your boy out there, hustling and bagging and trying to get these people to spend that money. Spend that money, that's always a challenge. A lot of us sometimes say the cruise ship passengers don't spend any money. I beg to differ. I tell somebody the other day, I told someone the other day that I would take 1,000 cruise passengers spending $50 a day in different sectors of the economy, different places in the economy, over anybody else who come and spend $1,000 a day at one location. Hear what I just said? I would take 1,000 people spending $50 a day in different sectors of the economy versus one person who come and spend $1,000 a day in only one location. There's a big difference. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and this leads me to my next text. Somebody said that we should focus more. They said they appreciate the cruise pair development, but we should do more focus on the airport, and the overnight guests. And I want us to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. We do not need to be fighting with overnight versus cruise pair or cruise ship passengers. What we need to be doing is looking at how whenever we come in contact with either one of them, you know the good thing about people, take yourself for example. When you travel, depends on how you dress, how you assimilate, how you blend in. Nobody don't know or what country you go to. Nobody don't know if you're local or overnight guest or cruise guest, you know. They don't know. And you and I behave the same way that some of these people behave. Sometimes you meet people here in Tortola who could be staying at one of our most fancy hotels. But they might come over, take a taxi. They're going to go down, they're going to browse the stores. They might find something that they like, and they might just buy it. Or they might just want to go just for the experience. Our job, when we meet our people, different people who are not from here, who don't live in the territory, our job, if we have a business, to figure out how we can facilitate their needs. That's what we should be doing. That's what we should be focusing on. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people who come to this shore, to our shores by cruise ship. Some of these cruise ships are very expensive cruise ships. Some of them competing, believe it or not, with some of our hotels in some of these destinations. They are. Sometimes some of these ships that people pay thousands of dollars to get on. They have 5-star dining and all this other stuff on the ship. The same thing that somebody might come to one of our exclusive resort might experience. Some of these people are experiencing the same thing. So sometimes we meet them, we don't realize, hey, this guy could be an overnight guest too. If we just do the right thing, say the right thing, treat him right, treat him or her right, you know, figure out how we can facilitate their interests. If we do those things, who knows? Your business might be the one getting the call the next time around saying, hey, you know what? I was there a year ago, and, you know, based on our interaction, you know, you really encouraged me to come back and spend $500 a night at one of our secluded resort. Or, you know, $5,000 a week at one of our beautiful villas. You just don't know. We don't know who we're dealing with. And what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're dealing with these folks directly or indirectly, is to always be on your guard. Treat them right. Treat them the same way you expect to be treated when you're traveling. You don't want to travel and have people, you know, profiling you. You don't want to travel and have people say, oh, well, he's green and he ain't going to spend no money. We do it. We do it all the time. We do it to others and we shouldn't do it. What we should do is disseminate the information, give them the options, and who gonna buy. Who ain't gonna buy, ain't gonna buy. Just like you, just like I, when we travel, we don't buy everything people selling. We don't. When I travel, especially with my wife, we like to go to beaches. I'm an island man and I love my beaches. Wherever I travel, I want to go to a beach. I don't want to go to a beach where people are harassing me and selling me stuff. I don't want nobody bugging me. If I want something, let me get up and go find it. I want sometimes like to have a nice simple meal. I don't want to have to spend $50, even if I can afford it, for a plate of food. No. The same way you travel, other people are traveling. And those who can really afford the big money, guess what? They don't spend no money through us. Even if we had what they were looking for, they ain't spending no money. Half of them don't spend. We had billions of dollars sitting in Virgin Gorda the other day. How much of that billions of dollars you saw in Tortola? How much of it? Probably not a whole lot. So, listen, there's no debate, there's no argument. Be filing overnight guests versus cruise guests. Let's embrace everybody that come to our shores. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, sir. Are you a visitor? How can I help you? Is there something I can help you find? You know, some of us live here and we move worse than some of the people who visit because we don't embrace the country. We don't learn about nothing about the country. You know, I had a conversation with a young lady the other day. She just moved here. She's a nice young lady, you know, from another Caribbean country. And I said, you know, what do you do? What do you do on your off time? There's nothing to do. That's what she said to me. There's nothing to do in the BVI. It's so dead. Okay. I find things to do. There's a lot of things I do here in the BVI. There's a lot of things to do in the BVI. Embrace some of those things, and you're going to find that you're probably going to enjoy them. And when you enjoy the things that are around you, it's easy now to interact with people, other people, and sell the country. Sell it right. All the beaches are not the same. They're not. Every single beach. When customers ask me all the time, I got that question numerous times today. Which is the best beach? No, no, no. What do you like? Do you like beaches with people? You want beaches with facilities? You want beaches just to swim? You want beaches to snorkel? What do you like? There's a difference. And when I start with people, and somebody said to me, I want a beach with people in action, I know where to send them. They say I don't want a lot of crowd, but I want some access to restaurants and place to eat. I know where to send them. If they say I just want to chill out, relax, maybe do a little snorkeling right from the shore, I know where to send them. 2 to 3 places. If you don't enjoy the things yourself, how can you sell it? How can you encourage people? So ladies and gentlemen, there's no debate. Let's stop the conversation trying to debate. We need the airport. I support the airport. We all should support the airport. We might not be able to build it. We might have to form a 100-year agreement with somebody else to do it for us. You know? That might be the only option. But we need our own airport, our international airport, that could facilitate people coming here from some of the best destinations, New York, Miami, wherever, you know, Canada. We need our own airport. So I'm all for that. And every one of us should be on the bandwagon. Every one of us should say to ourselves, again, and I ain't supporting nobody crazy argument or thinking about utilizing St. Thomas and St. Croix. Why would I want to do that? Why would I continue to put my livelihood, my security, national security, in the hands of my competitor? Why would I do that? No, there's interest to come here. There's airlines that already have an interest to come to the territory as long as we can have what they need. And they need runway. It might be, you know, I hear some of your argument, oh, we're only going to build it for the super rich. We're only going to build it for the private jets. As long as they build it so the bigger jets can reach, the private jets going to come too. St. Martin, they go to St. Martin. There's a lot of private jets that go to St. Martin. There's a lot of private jets that go to St. Lucia. They go to St. Kitts. But the big planes come too. And when those big planes come, they don't sometimes have enough taxis to move those people around to their destination. They don't have enough ferry service to run them to where they need to get to. So let's embrace that. Let's embrace that airport. We need our own airport. But we shouldn't be arguing and debating and comparing, you know, overnight versus land-based. What we need is a balance. We need a balance between how we disseminate our customers them throughout the territory, so no one place is overcrowded, so no one place is infringing too much on the other type of tourism we have. We need all of them. That's what we should be doing. Let's develop. And I encourage the government again, look at some of the other areas throughout Tortola. Look at them. We need them. We need them for the reason I just outlined. People have a lot of different interests and they're willing to pay the cost as long as it fits within what they're looking for. Whether they're cruise passengers, whether they're overnight, whether they come on day trips, whatever. Whether they just come from the neighboring islands, come to a function. People have different ideas. They want choices. And what we should do is find ways to open up our choices and offer them to people. You know? So let's get away from that argument, ladies and gentlemen. It don't make no sense. Somebody was beating me up a little bit. They said, Sam, what you mean? you don't know how your power bill gone down. They say gas price gone down. Did it? As far as I remember, the cost of what government paid for the supply of the diesel and the oil was $60-something million. As far as I know. As far as I know, the gas price at the pump has fallen by a few cents. A lot of few cents. But it should have been down even further. So what I'm saying to you, I'm asking you, what is the metric that people use to determine, and who is applying that metric? Who's responsible for monitoring and regulating the cost of fuel in the country? Is it the government at the gas pump? Is it the gas station manager? Is it their corporate office somewhere else? Who's controlling that? That's what I'm asking. No, I can't just say because gas price gone down. Gas price gone down in the States because directly and indirectly of what's happening in the world market. But here, our gas price really ain't gone nowhere. They barely dropped. Diesel used to be $3.80 something. It's now down to $3.30 something. So we dropped 50 cents. It's been over 6 months now, over almost a year since fuel costs gone down, and we still ain't under $3. So somebody have to explain that one. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be in our last 15 minutes, 10-minute segment. If you want to get in on this conversation, feel free to call me when I come back. Let's take a quick break. Welcome back, guys. We got about 10 more minutes left. So again, if you want to get in on this conversation, hit me up. The phone lines are open. The text number is up. So, I just want to say thanks for the text that just said, stop talking and read the text. Thank you so much. I'm going to read the text. Someone wanted to ask the Minister for Health, Ronnie Skelton, what is his intention with the what is he intended to do with the $1.5 million gold pen behind the Virgin Gorda Hospital, somewhere up there. So I guess you will send me another text, explain that one a little bit more, but it seems to be a very expensive pen somewhere in Virgin Gorda, $1.25 million worth of pen. It sounds like a writing pen or some kind of gold pen, they said, sitting up there. Maybe he'll put it down at the new hospital, I don't know. But if you are aware of this, you work for the ministry, hit us up, let us know, give me a call. Let me know what it's about. We got a text that was asking that question. Someone said they want to send a message out to the Minister for Communication and Works. He said he's always bragging about, doing the roads right. I think he was in the House saying that as well, that we ain't just patching anymore. The person wanted to know why are they patching the roads in Virgin Gorda, making it so unsightly, the person said, and not even using rollers to put it in the holes, to flatten it out, nice it out. I got a problem with that even on Tortola. You talk about Virgin Gorda. Sometimes these guys go around, I'm glad that they got a job, but I think there should be some better method, when as soon as they put that stuff down, there's no real diversion of traffic. You run right over it. Next thing you know, it's all up underneath your vehicle. It gets hard. You can't get rid of it. There needs to be a roller system in place. But big man government. This is a big man government. The minister's working hard. So, Mr. Minister, we ain't gonna beat you up, but don't rush it now. Don't rush it. Don't rush to do anything. No, do it right. Cut the road. You spend a lot of money on equipment. Jeffrey Skelton over in Public Work. You guys got some work, your work cut out for you. Spent some money on these fancy equipment from China. I hope they're still working. I haven't seen them doing any cutting lately. Right there in Rotong, there's a little problem from the street light, Station Road down to the roundabout. They started, looked like they started there and then they stopped all of a sudden. But if you guys can continue that road, man, get it done, especially just coming off the stoplight, heading into the roundabout, you know, see if we can get that a little bit nice up. In some of the areas where you just did, you know, it's a bit uneven. You go down the road and your vehicle jumping like this. See if you could, maybe one night while we're sleeping, just go there and put another coat over the road. You know, kind of smooth it out so we just bump like this and not like this. You know, but over in Virgin Gorda, big concern. Big concern, Mr. Minister. I guess the guys were over there trying to get the potholes under control, but they just throwing the asphalt down in the holes in the areas that they're patching, and it's loose. You know, you use the little, what do you call that thing, the scraper or whatever, the leveler, but there's no roller. The roller is designed to compact it, to make it hard, kind of quick, so the vehicles running over it don't get it up under the underneath. So let's see what we could do there. Somebody said that power bill is only $30 a month. Only $30 a month. They said with some help from themselves. I guess there's some things they've been doing monthly that's helping them out. So that's great. And then they said, but the water bill is a bit ridiculous. I don't know how we're going to win this argument between water, sewage, and power bill. But if you have some ideas that you could share as to how we could all get our water bill and our power bill under control, share it, because I tell you what, it's crazy. I just paid my water bill. It was $300 and something. I just get so numb now to the point where I don't even argue. I just pay the bill. Just, you know, pay, stop it from getting cut. And water and sewage now is doing the same thing the BVI electricity is doing, because, you know, the minister wanted to merge the two. And I told somebody up to a year ago that the whole concept is to use some of the same approach that BVI electricity is using to start collecting our revenue, and it seems like it's working. I know people say they're getting cut for $25, you know, $30, $15. I had one caller who used to call a lot. He hasn't called in a while. So he used to get cut for $25 or $15, and then when you go get it back on, it's $20 to get it back on. So now you're paying $35 for a $15 bill. So if you use a lot of water, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? So we got to get that under control. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, I think we're on the tyranny of the clock. You know, it's about that time. If you guys again want to get in on one last comment, one last phone call, feel free, hit me up. But with everything said, I think I covered pretty much. Again, I want to congratulate the system for pushing this cruise ship thing through, at least in this manner. Again, I'll keep saying that, in this manner. So those of you who don't hear me right, you know, I did not support the concept for the first 2 years. And when the government, the minister himself came on this show and made a 180 turn on this whole development, it was a day I believe we were all born again, a rebirth in this country. It was great, and we have it now. There's a difference. Big difference. A lot of you are running around saying, oh, let them go ahead and do what they're doing. Whoever gets in can't take it with them. Nonsense. Nonsense. You will never, you know, if you own a piece of house or property or apartment building, you will never lease out your apartment building to somebody that potentially could shut you down if they fail to live up to their obligation, and then because they might have a 49-year lease on your property, until the court case settles, you can't do anything with your property. That's the same thing. You know what I mean? You would never do that. So we should never want it for someone else. And I'm glad that we are now at a point where, you know, again, most of us who are in the business directly and those of us who are not in the business indirectly can benefit. In the end, the territory benefits. So let's see what we can do together to help welcome all of our visitors, land-based, you know, who comes by cruise, who come overnight on planes. Let's see what we could do. Let's learn about the territory. Let's embrace the country that we're living in. Let's embrace it by enjoying the things that we have here. Because the more, again, you enjoy it, the more you know about it. The more you know about it, the more happy you are about it. And the easier it is for you to sell it to others. The easier it is for you to share it with others. Because when you do that, they're going to keep coming. We got people coming for years, 40 plus years, because of the people they have met in the past. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I think it's about that time. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And as usual, stay tuned again next week for the Speak Your Mind show. Thank you so much and good night.